What can a person look like at 85? Most people will immediately imagine a slow gait, fatigue, lack of energy, and endless conversations about age. But today, you will see an example that literally breaks these ideas. She is 85 years old. Her name is Patricia. And when people first find out her age, they think it's a mistake. Because she looks much younger than her years, remains active, trains regularly, and continues to inspire thousands of people with her lifestyle. But the most interesting thing is not her appearance. The real value of her story is that the secrets of her youth are accessible to almost everyone. And if you watch this video to the end, you will understand which habits really help to maintain health, energy, and quality of life, even at a very mature age. Therefore, watch this video to the end. It will be interesting and useful. So let's get started. The first principle is constant movement. Sports are a regular part of Patricia's life. And this is not about professional training or trying to set sports records. It shows a much more important approach. She trains for life, to preserve strength, mobility, and independence. Many people make the mistake of believing that physical activity is needed only for weight loss or a beautiful figure. In fact, after 40 to 50 years, the main task of training becomes completely different. With age, a person begins to lose muscle mass. This process occurs gradually, but it often causes weakness, joint problems, poor posture, and decreased quality of life. Every workout helps slow down this process. Another important point is that Patricia often trains at home. And here lies a very useful lesson. Many people have been postponing sports for years because they are waiting for ideal conditions. Someone wants to buy an expensive subscription. Someone is looking for the best gym. Someone is going to start on Monday. But the truth is that the human body doesn't know exactly where you train. It reacts to the load. Home workouts have a huge advantage. They remove most of the excuses. No need to waste time on the road. There is no need to adjust to the club's schedule. Even 15 to 20 minutes of regular activity can bring much more benefits than rare, intense workouts. If you want to use this principle in your life, start as simply as possible. Squats near a chair, toe lifts, push-ups from the wall. Balance exercises and regular walking around the apartment can already be a great start. The main thing is regularity. But Patricia's physical activity is not limited to the walls of the house. She also spends a lot of time outdoors and periodically trains outside. This is another important factor in her active longevity. Man was created to move in a natural environment. When we go outside, the body gets several benefits at once. First, the level of daily activity increases. Secondly, sunlight helps regulate the internal biological clock. Thirdly, fresh air and a change of environment have a positive effect on the nervous system. Interestingly, many longevity experts consider regular walking to be one of the most underrated health tools. It does not require special equipment, has practically no contraindications, and is suitable for people of any age. At the same time, regular walking helps to maintain the health of the heart, blood vessels, joints, and brain. But if you look closely at Patricia, you can see another feature. She smiles and laughs a lot. At first glance, this may seem like an insignificant detail. However, in fact, the emotional state has a huge impact on health and the rate of aging. When a person is constantly in a state of anxiety, irritation, and chronic stress, the body produces an increased amount of stress hormones. If this condition continues for months and years, it affects almost all body systems. Sleep worsens, immunity decreases, and the aging process accelerates. Laughter works completely differently. During sincere laughter, the level of tension decreases, the mood improves, and the physiological reaction of the body changes. Of course, laughter is not a cure for all diseases, but it helps to create a more favorable internal environment for health. Martha Patricia's next secret may seem unexpected. She tracks her progress and regularly shares her workouts with her audience. At first glance, it looks like a normal social media business, but in fact, there is a very powerful psychological mechanism at work here. When a person records their results, they begin to see real changes. The brain receives evidence that efforts are not in vain. That's why workout diaries, activity records, and progress photos are so effective. Most people give up healthy habits because they don't notice improvements. It seems to them that nothing is happening. But if you start recording the number of steps, the duration of training, or your own achievements, it becomes noticeable how far a person has progressed. However, there is another factor that distinguishes people who have been active for decades. They understand the importance of recovery. And Martha Patricia is a good example of this approach. Many people perceive rest as idleness, but in fact, it is during recovery that the body adapts to stress. If a person constantly overloads himself and ignores fatigue signals, over time, this leads to the opposite effect. Proper recovery involves several components: quality sleep, a sufficient amount of movement without overloading, the ability to alternate between active and quiet days, stress level control. All this allows the body to maintain a high level of energy even in adulthood. And perhaps the main lesson is that it's never too late to start. A lot of people convince themselves that time has already been lost, that it's pointless to change habits at a certain age. But the example of Martha Patricia shows the opposite. The body is able to respond to care at any age. Every extra step, every walk, every workout, and every useful decision becomes a contribution to the future quality of life. Therefore, the main question after this video is not how old Martha Patricia is. The main question is, which of her habits will you start using today? Friends, what do you think of this woman? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video that's currently appearing on your screen.